Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting upcoming handheld gaming devices of the year, the ASUS ROG Ally 2. With recent leaks surfacing, including detailed specs and early-stage prototype images, we now have a clearer view of what ASUS has in store for their next-generation gaming handheld. Spoiler alert, it looks like they're bringing out not one but two different models, which could shake up the portable gaming space yet again. Let's break down everything we know so far, from hardware improvements and internal specs to design, choices and potential performance comparisons with devices like the Steam Deck OLED and Lenovo Legion Go. Whether you're a tech enthusiast, handheld gaming fan, or someone considering upgrading from the ROG Ally X, this video is packed with details you won't want to miss. ASUS ROG Ally 2. First, look at the leaks. Leak originates from recent filings with the FCC, where ASUS seems to be conducting certification testing on what appears to be two distinct models of the ROG Ally 2. While these are still prototypes and the final design could see refinements, the leaked shell castings and spec tags give us plenty to chew on. From the leaked images, it's clear that ASUS is aiming to maintain its competitive edge in the handheld gaming PC market. We're talking about a form factor that's familiar yet refined, blending what worked with the original ROG Ally and the Ally X, but with a few tweaks to ergonomics and cooling, design and build. Two models, two visions, based on the photos. ASUS is planning to launch two color variants, a sleek black version and a more console-style white version. What's especially intriguing is that both units appear to be slightly different, not just in color, but in internal hardware and battery capacity. The design remains familiar, but with improved ergonomics. From the rear, it's apparent that ASUS has embraced a controller-style grip similar to the Xbox controller, which should deliver a more comfortable hold during longer gaming sessions. This could be a smart move, considering many gamers had mixed feedback about the Ally X's grip and weight distribution. A few key design features include power button 3.5mm headphone jack micro SD card, slot ventilation grille across the top dual USB, Type-C ports volume rocker Xbox-style colored buttons on the white version display. No major changes, but still strong. Both models are expected to retain the tried-and-tested 7-inch 120Hz display, possibly the same one featured in the original ROG Ally and Ally X. While there's no confirmation if the panel has received any upgrades in terms of brightness, resolution, or color accuracy, the high refresh rate alone keeps it competitive against other handheld gaming PCs on the market. Still, this move feels more like ASUS is choosing consistency over innovation, at least in the display department. Battery life. A tale of two configurations. This is where things get more interesting. The black version seems to house a 99 Wh battery, pushing the upper limits of TSA regulations for travel. That's the maximum allowable capacity for devices carried onto planes, signaling ASUS's intent to maximize endurance. On the other hand, the white version reportedly comes with a 65 Wh battery, which suggests a lighter, more budget-friendly model, potentially geared toward casual gamers or those prioritizing portability over raw power. This variation implies that ASUS is segmenting their user base, one for enthusiasts who demand high-end specs and long playtime, and one for mainstream users who want great performance but can compromise slightly on battery life and pricing. Ports and connectivity. Future-ready, sort of both versions appear to be sticking with a dual USB-C port layout. It's expected that at least one will support USB 4.0, allowing for external GPU support, fast data transfer, and video output. While the jump to USB 5.0 would have been impressive, it's likely not ready for mass adoption, especially for a 2025 handheld release window. With microSD expansion, 3.5mm headphone support, and a solid thermal design that includes improved venting, ASUS is clearly aiming for practical usability in real-world gaming scenarios. Under the hood, leaked specifications. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Specs. Black version, ROG Ally 2, Extreme. This is the beast. Powered by AMD's rumored Ryzen Z2 Extreme, an 8-core, 16-thread monster based on the latest Zen architecture, this model looks built for serious 1080p gaming and beyond. Here's what we're seeing. CPU. AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme GPU. 16 compute. Unit RDNA 3.5 IGPU RAM. Up to 64GB LPDDR5X. running at 8,533 MHz. Seriously impressive for a handheld battery. 99W watt form. Factor: heavier, more powerful, and likely pricier. The power here puts this handheld in direct competition with ultra-portable gaming laptops, making it more of a handheld powerhouse than a typical gaming console. White version, ROG Ally 2. Light, a more affordable unit, but still promising. The white variant seems to feature a next-gen AMD APU that could be the 8th Plus, the rumored successor to the AMD Steam-X chip. This APU is expected to offer solid 720p or 800p gaming, CPU, 4-core, 8-thread AMD APU clock speeds, up to 3.8 GHz CPU, 1.88 GHz, GPU battery, 65 RAM, likely 24 GB or 32 GB LPDDR5 target audience, budget-conscious gamers, indie title lovers, cloud gaming. Users. This version likely won't match the Z2 Extreme in raw performance, but at lower resolutions and power targets, it should still deliver a competent experience, similar to or better than the Steam Deck LCD. Who are these devices for? By creating two distinct ROG Ally 2 models, ASUS is smartly diversifying its target market. The black version is clearly for power users, hardcore gamers, and those who want to replace a laptop with a handheld PC. Expect this to come at a premium, likely above $899 USD, maybe even reaching $1,999 plus depending on storage options. The white version could come in around $599, $6,999, making it a more direct competitor to the Steam Deck and even Nintendo's upcoming Switch 2. This dual approach might position ASUS to dominate both the premium and mid-range segments of the handheld gaming market. How it compares. Steam Deck. OLED, ROG Ally X, and others if these specs hold up. The ROG Ally 2 Extreme could easily outpace the Steam Deck OLED in terms of CPU and GPU power, RAM, and battery life. It also brings more versatility with USB-C support, microSD expansion, and LPDDR5X memory. However, we'll have to wait and see how well ASUS handles thermal management and power efficiency, both crucial in compact gaming devices. Against the ROG Ally X, the ROG Ally 2 seems like a generational leap, not just an iteration. From redesigned internals to higher spec memory and APUs, the changes are substantial. Release date and pricing. What to expect as of now. ASUS hasn't made any official announcements about pricing or launch dates. But given the FCC listing, it's safe to assume that we're looking at a Q4 2025 or early 2026 release. Pricing will most likely reflect the hardware gap between the two versions. ROG Ally 2 Extreme, $999, $1,099 ROG Ally 2. Lite, $599, $799. Of course, these are just educated guesses, but based on component cost and current trends, they're realistic. Final thoughts. Is this the future of handheld gaming? So what do you think about the ASUS ROG Ally 2? Is ASUS moving in the right direction by releasing two different versions? Do you like the new ergonomic design with controller-style grips? And most importantly, would you shell out nearly $1,000 for the high-end version? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Your feedback helps drive these discussions forward and gives others insight into what the community really wants from their next handheld gaming PC.